Buenos dias, clase, o buenas tardes. Not sure when you're choosing to do your work for the week. For April 6th, during our lovely quarantine time, ¿Quién me falta? Todos. Oh, qué triste. Very sad. I do miss all of you. This is one of my favorite times is when we correct the work together and I get to see your creativity. Some of you come up with different answers, have different ideas, and I really miss the class interaction. So for right now, you should have watched the future tense video. So if you haven't done that yet, pause this one and go watch your future tense video so that you can get some good review and some good ideas and refreshers for what the irregulars are, and come on back. If you've already watched it, pause this video and work on your classwork assignments. You have 2 workbook assignments. So make sure you get those done and you get those submitted. What this video is actually going through the responses for your classwork. So this way you have an opportunity to go back, see explanations for things, and hopefully this helps. If you need clarification, remember what I said, I'm going to run classes from 9 to 3. So when you do have that break time, if you have any specific questions, you can jump on the Zoom using that day's link and be able to reach me if you have any questions. Otherwise, just checking in for those first 30 minutes or so of class and watching your YouTube videos and such, you should be good. So for this video, what you're doing is this is for Spanish 2, so make sure you're on the right video. Week of April 6th, and what we're going to do is go through the workbook assignments. We're going to start with workbook assignment 1, pause, and then look at workbook assignment 2. So here we go. Make sure you've done your assignments first, and then we're going to check our work. Okay, clases, so here we go. So the first assignment should have looked like this. Week of April 6th, workbook assignment number 1. And I have this lovely social distancing by yourself sitting on the beach enjoying the waves picture. All right, so this is what it looks like on your end. Now I'm going to cut over to our corrections page. The questions are in the same order and they're the exact same questions. I'm just going to use the one we normally use. Okay, clase. So exercise A simply had you choose the correct verb form. So future tense, que fácil, right? We're using the full infinitive and we're just attaching to the end. The first part here, the worksheets, just have regular future tense, so pretty easy stuff. You just had to recognize who is doing the actions. So yo pasaré, nosotros montaremos, all right? Darás, okay, de comer a los animales, right? Because you're asking someone, are they going to give it? And then los amigos de mis primos nos visitarán. Todos nosotros iremos, the verb ir, remember, in the infinitive. And then yo nadaré. So hopefully you got that. The tricky part here is remember you're working with the infinitive and just adding the endings. Exercise B, the next part. Remember, you had to complete with the correct form of the future tense, still only working with regular verbs, nothing irregular at this point. All right, so aprenderán, an. So you're taking these words and you're adding your future tense endings to them. Yo entenderé, yo te prestaré, leerás. This one was a tricky one because it was a reflexive verb. So you had to pull off the SE and put it in front. It's ella form, so se divertirá. All right, so hopefully you did okay here. Now here, remember oír, this tricky verb, which big bad boy has an accent on the infinitive form? Important for you to note. When you're dealing with the verb conjugation and it has an accent as part of the verb conjugation, you give up the original accent and you go with what the new ending would be if it contains an accent. The last exercise was a little bit more challenging, but I gave you the verb in all caps in order to try and help you maneuver your way through this. All right, so va a pasar, there's your ir plus al plus infinitive, your simple future. Now you're making it into the true future, so it's pasar with the appropriate ending on it. Voy a ir, simple future, ir plus al plus infinitive. Your verb is ir, so therefore iré, right? Nosotros vamos a tomar, your simple future. You're making it true future. Tomar hemos. Voy a aprender, ir plus al plus infinitive, simple future. Then moving it to the true future, yo aprender, and then Let's scroll down to the next part. Alguien me va a dar, so then you have dará. Pedro va a aprender, aprenderá. Nosotros vamos a comer, comeremos. Vas a pasar, pasarás. Vas a estar, estarás. And van a divertir, so divertirán. Hopefully you did okay with us. Not too hard, right? We're still dealing with just the regular future tense. Okay, clase. So hopefully you have already done the week of April 6th workbook assignment 2. If you have not, please pause this video and go work on your worksheet and then come back and we can go through the answers. All right, thanks. Hola, clase. If you're back here, hopefully it's because you've already completed workbook assignment number 2. We're going to go through the answers now. If you haven't done it, please pause the video, go do your classwork, submit, and then you can come back and then we'll work through it and hopefully you did okay. The second worksheet is a little bit harder because it deals with the irregulars. So let's go through the answers and hopefully you can see how awesome you did. All right, thanks. Hey, class A, we're going to start with exercise A. And so what you needed to do was choose one versus the other. And remember, we're dealing with the irregulars now, a little bit trickier than worksheet number 1. It's taking it to another level. So you need to make sure you got the handy dandy future tense. Remember, this one does a little bit different of an ending, right? It's podremos. Okay, ¿quién pondrá? ¿Cuándo vendrán? ¿A qué hora saldrás? It's the to form. And then ustedes tendrán. So hopefully you did okay. This one was a little bit more tricky because you had to write it yourself. So yo tendré. ¿Cuándo podrás? Remember, they have to put the to here so that you know you're talking about the to form. Yo podré. Vendrás. Again, there's your to form. And nosotros saldremos. So hopefully you did okay with A and B. Let's scroll to the next exercise. Okay, class A, let's take a look at exercise C. So again, you're dealing with the irregulars, all right? So ellos harán, yo les diré, okay? And then tendrán, okay? So we're talking I will tell them. This is an indirect object pronoun. So you had to be careful. This sentence was a little trickier because of that, because yo diré, but les is dealing with tendrán over here. All right, yo sé, I know that Carlos, okay, querer. Remember, querer is a tricky one in the true future because that's the one that goes to the double R for the irregular. And then él, again, double R, querrá, okay? And he wants to see the artwork by these different artists. So hopefully you did okay. That was tricky. lastly, you have exercise D, right? Again, very challenging, but I tried to make it a little bit easier. On your form, I took the verbs and I put them in all caps in order to help you be able to recognize your verb a little bit easier. So what you were doing is you were taking the verbs from the present tense, and then you were saying that, okay, so I can't do it today, but I can't do it tomorrow either. So you were taking it from the present tense and then putting it into the true future tense. So that was the tricky thing here, because you needed to be able to identify the verb. So hopefully I took some of the sting out of this exercise by identifying the verb for you by it being in all caps. So hopefully you did pondré, vendrán, diremos, harás, saldrá, pondré, and tendremos. So hopefully you did okay. Please check your answers, because you can go back to your forms that you submitted. I made them so that you can actually check them again, but don't forget to make sure they're submitted by Friday. Otherwise, if you're good, I'm glad you turned them in already. And one more thing I want to touch base on is your writing assignment. Hola, clase. So this part of your assignments, you have a writing assignment to do for the class. Hopefully you have fun with it. You're just going to write a short paragraph using the true future tense. It is really meant to be short. So we're talking about 8 to 10 sentences. If you want to write more, that's fine. Again, due April 10th. And your topic is you're going to write what you're going to do when our quarantine for COVID-19 is finally lifted. I'm sure you've got plenty of plans you'd like to do among hanging out with friends or whatever, but have fun with it. True future tense, and don't forget to submit it by Friday. Hope you have a great week, and I will see you in our Zoom classes this week. Take care. Bye.